Brooks, I don't think you treat me like a friend treats somebody. I think you're very unfair with me. I think you treat me very unfairly. LYD, can you do me a favor? You know, Brooks, you know what I want to tell you? You never buy anything, you never donate. You act like you're going to, but you never do, and I think that's very unfair. It's very mocking, very taunting, very teasing, and I don't appreciate it. Like, be genuine. If you're going to ask me about money stuff, like, contribute once in a while. And if you really don't want to give, then don't make comments regarding the possibility of you sending money. Okay, but why ask to see something if you're not interested in buying it? Do you see what I'm saying? That's very mocking. That gets me excited that maybe I'm going to make a sale and you just want me burning my energy. I don't think that's fair to me. I don't have energy to waste or burn. I'm running thin here, bro. I'm running very thin. In all the wrong ways. That's what an energy vampire does. That's what a parasite does. Is takes somebody's energy from them. See, you're being tricky, bro. It's manipulative. See, you just admitted you never acted like you were going to buy anything, but yet you want me to show you stuff. Like, how does that make sense? Make that make sense for me. Hi, Calvin. LYD, question. Glitter, I have a question. Okay, fair enough, Brooks. We're good, bro. We're good, Brooks. Love you, buddy. Glitter, I'm having a really tough time in life, and it's getting, like, unbearable. Do you know what unbearable means? It means I can't take this kind of suffering much more. Meaning something positive and better has to change. There has to be a positive and better change in my life. It's breaking me down to a point that I will get to that I won't be able to repair myself. That does happen to people. Every time I reached that point in my life and got very sick and broke down, it was a miracle that they got me stable again. But I don't have my mom this time, so the answer is to not ever let myself fall apart and break down. I have a couple questions for you, Glitter. If you're not able to focus and pay attention, then tell me now, because I don't feel like burning my energy and my breath if you're just not going to be attentive in the chat. And Calvin, I have a question for you too. Okay, so one of my problems right now is I'm very desperate, Glitter. I'm in a very horrible, desperate predicament where I have nobody in the world in my life here in Florida or anywhere in the world. Forget about you guys for a second. I'm not talking about you guys because you guys are different. I'm really thankful for you guys. I have nobody, absolutely nobody, down to my roommate to give me a cent. And I don't have my mom anymore to pick me up when I fall and rescue me like she did my whole life, or to keep me safe, or keep things secure where things are always paid for. Don't come in my chat and while I'm trying to have an agenda and a narrative, try to detour the chat by calling me an abuser. No, I'm not an abuser. I'm a good man trying my best every day to stay on the right path and a whole lot of other things. So you'll be blocked when I have a moment. I'm not going to let you distract me. CH. So, you still listening, Glitter? 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 Down to my roommate, who's my family, my own family. Okay? My nephew, my sister's son. I don't even get a cent from him. And I'm paying all the rent, all the bills, and I'm a poor man on disability. It is challenging enough being a disabled man that only gets an $1,100 check each month to make about $2,600 in bills. That is the truth of my bills. And that doesn't even cover living expenses, which could be another $1,000 each month when you're the only one taking care of everything that you could possibly need to get. So we're actually talking about $3,600 in money I need to live a modest life. Just a life where I can survive financially and go through my life. It's still not even a lavish life. That's a lot of money, $3,600. And miraculously, I'm working so hard every day that I'm pulling it off. It's like a mission impossible, right? On paper, it's like, he could never do this. There's no fucking way he's going to fall, and he's going to fail, and he's going to fall fast, and he's going to fail fast. And that's going to be the end of him. And somehow, I've gotten through the first 2 months. And you could almost say 3 months if you count February, when I had to run my mom's house and pay her bills as well as my bills. And that was actually the most expensive month. I actually brought in about $6,000, $7,000 to pay all of that on bills. The rent that month was $2,700 at that Longwood house. And then all of her bills were like times 3, because that's how much she owed. But yet I couldn't walk away from her bills. I had to keep paying them to keep that house running for only half a month. And that's what I paid. So it's fucking crazy the money that I've brought in to keep things running for 3 months, keep my life going, and financially sustain this tough, hard, trying time in my life. And all on my own. Make it all on my own with no help from anyone except, yes, the money I get from you guys. Here's what I'm getting to. Are you still here? Are you still here, Glitter? Here's the punchline. Glitter. Glitter, did I lose you? Okay. Thank you for listening and paying attention, Glitter. I'm almost done. So, here's what I'm getting to. Excuse me, Cakes? What does that mean? Here's what I'm getting to. They are now, as if it, like, so I gave you the background information, all the history. You see that it's almost mission impossible for me to be successful. I'm basically set up for failure, yet I've been making mission impossible possible, and I've been successful. And I do have people that genuinely dislike me and genuinely hate me and genuinely resent me and want to cause me hardship. And they've been trying numerous tactics for a long time. The entire 2.5, 3 years I've been on TikTok. I've been targeted, abused, hated. That's why it's crazy that that guy comes in and says Tank is an abuser. Because it's actually these people that I would never even know in my life that show up and find me and show up and abuse me. Okay? Well, sadly, this is a little different than being ostracized, Brian. This is being found and noticed and targeted, but it's all the wrong company. It's bad companies showing up. It's not good people. I'm not saying there's not a lot of good people like Hunter and Glitter and you, Brian. But it's predominantly hateful, abusive people that troll me and hate me and abuse me and stalk me and harass me and target me to do all those things. Yeah, you're a good guy, Trucking Dad. 2025. Thank you. So here's what I'm getting to, Glitter. Obviously, it's challenging enough for me to carry out that financial stress and burden each month. And somehow I'm making it work. I've been successful. I've been making mission impossible possible. Now, I don't know if that is frustrating my haters and my trolls, and they resent me because their tactics sometimes knock people out and knock people down and defeat people a lot quicker than they're able to do to me. So as weak and vulnerable as I am from all my disabilities, there's absolutely a strength to me. I'm a strong man because of my resilience. It's the fact that I refuse to quit and I refuse to give up and I refuse to surrender. And I always fight the good fight to get up each day and try my best, even if my circumstances are horrible, like let's say a horrible night's sleep where I can't function good. I do what I can each day to survive and be successful. And I think they hate me for the fact that I won't quit, because they absolutely do this to people on the internet, and those people commit suicide. You see it all the time. This level of hate actually makes certain people unalive themselves. You hear the stories on the news, on TV all the time. And I think they hate that my response is I fight that much harder to not give up, to not quit, to not surrender, to fight a good fight, to be resilient, to survive. Like, my whole story is I never tell you I enjoy a lot of pleasure and that I'm happy. I clearly tell you it's a survival story. Like, I'm fighting to survive, and I pray to God that one day there's quality and pleasure again. How often do I come on here and tell you, I'm having a lot of fun, I'm so happy, all right? I don't know how to lie. I'm very truthful, all right? I might call it a $500 million day, but those are simple pleasures, just feeling strong and healthy that day from what? A basic thing that most people get, a good night's sleep, which is like a full-time job and work. You shouldn't have to work to get your sleep. That's when you're supposed to rest. But to get an adequate amount of sleep is like work and a job to me. And all these things tax my energy as my overall disability, right? If you take in the whole picture, which make it very hard to sustain working a normal job. You can't work a job and be constantly sleep deprived and expect that you would keep that job. See, the government knows that about my disability. That's why they have no problem sending me a check each month. Only $1,100 doesn't cut it in a world where I just told you it takes about $3,600 for me to live a humble, modest life. Nothing lavish, no fun. I'm not doing anything for fun. It's literally basic stuff. The essential costs of living, rent, bills, living expenses, etc. You still here, Glitter? I don't fraud the system, motherfucker. You can get out of here. And I'm shocked that you, of all people, doesn't know me by now. And you really think that of me, Lou Dog. That is such a shame, bro. You can just permanently exit, Lou Dog. People like you and you're part of my crowd. But the fact that you still don't understand me and know me and you really believe that about me, you're not my cup of tea. I'm not going to fight with you to try to convince you otherwise. I know better than going back and forth with people. That never works out. We'll just end up hating each other even more. But you can exit, because I'm not going to try to be your friend now. Now I know where your true colors are as far as how you feel about me. So it's the end of the road, bro. I don't need that. I'm giving an honest speech. Nothing about my speech is not honest. No, that's quite offensive to make accusations that I'm trying to fraud the system. You're completely wrong. I'm merely trying to survive, and I'm doing my best. Okay? The Social Security system itself is one that actually traps people in poverty. It is almost nearly mission impossible to survive in this modern day world when you're trapped in the Social Security system. I'm trying to find a balance and a way to work, being a disabled man that receives a modest income that's allowed to earn a supplemental income of a certain amount of money. And I'm trying to earn an honest buck on here every day, even down to the point I'm going out and spending the little money I have. Even as an example, yesterday, I wiped my wallet out Okay, the little bit I had, and I went broke buying jewelry so I can make an honest buck and an honest income and an honest living. I'm not out stealing. So don't ever think you can stay here in my stream and make accusations that I'm frauding the system, because you're saying I'm stealing, bro. You're saying I'm stealing, bro. You're accusing me of being a criminal. That is a grand insult. You can exit now or I'll block you. So you still here, Glitter? You still here, Glitter? I look fine to work. If I look fine to work, then that's a testament of the battle I just had last night with my sleep. And I got an adequate sleep. So you're looking at me on one of my strong and healthy days, which my crowd knows I refer to them as $500 million days. And even at that, we're talking about 5 measly fucking hours of sleep, and I'm celebrating. Yay, I got 5 hours of sleep. Where the fuck is ever my 7, 8, and 9 hours of sleep, motherfucker? Motherfuckers. You hear, Glitter? I try to be, I dig deep to be positive every day over something simple. Instead of the last week, it's been 4 hours each night, and it's been a nightmare, and you've been seeing a very sick, toxic version of myself, and a very ugly version of myself, because I've been severely sleep deprived day in and day out. And I finally and my mask stayed on last night, so my breathing was better. And don't think each hour on that mask doesn't make a huge monumental fucking difference, because that's just one of my disabilities, and it really affects a person and breaks a person down, and it breaks a person down day in and day out. It actually breaks your nervous system down. If you're not getting adequate sleep, it affects the brain, and the brain is part of the central nervous system. So don't think I'm not going through it, meaning hell, a nightmare, and immense suffering day in and day out. Yet I try to keep a smile on my face when I can. I never quit. I never give up. I'm getting to the punchline, Glitter, but they detoured me here where they already put me on the defensive. So this is what it is. You see, I have a lot of people that resent me, Glitter, and hate me, and dislike me, and don't see eye to eye and agree with me. So those people, strongly opinionated, stubborn people that think it's their way or the highway, and they want to get rid of me, because maybe deep down to them, they really do believe I'm bad. Maybe they really believe their own lies at this point. See, I think when people target people, some people are just evil bastards that just pick on people, especially when the triumph is easier. It's a lot easier to break a vulnerable person than it is a strong person. Okay? And I have all kinds of vulnerabilities, being full of all the disabilities I have. I have multiple fucking disabilities. And sadly, that's who they're targeting, instead of picking on someone their own size, because they're just out for the victory. How many people can we take away their freedom or destroy them? It's sick. It's a lot of things, but I don't want to spend the energy on that today. But it is a lot of things. So here's the deal, Glitter. And it's not so bad that I went on this detour, because I explained some of the psychological history and background of how these haters and trolls think and work. Well, they have taken it to the next level, Glitter. They have targeted my financial apps, my Venmo, my Cash App, my PayPal. Maybe the only thing they didn't target, which would be hard to, is Zelle, which is through the bank. Okay, so each day now, as tough as it would be for a man in my situation and predicament to earn $3,600, and miraculously, thanks to my mother, thanks to God, somehow I'm bringing that money in and surviving each month. Somehow, I don't know, by the grace of God, and it hasn't been so graceful. I'm stumbling every day. I'm a nervous wreck. The breakdown is creeping up on me. I'm only so strong. I'm being run so thin. They're basically, it's called freezing a person's assets. They're making it where I'll have no money. I won't even have a way to receive money to survive, because you need the money to survive, right? If part of the survival is financial. If you have no way to receive it, then how? How do you get it? I'm not going to go out and do something illegal to get cash in my hand. I'm an honest, legal citizen. I do things by the law. I earn an honest buck. I'm okay with that at the end of the day. I'm not okay with being immoral. I have morals and values. That means nothing to me. And the success in surviving, if you have to steal money to survive, there's no success in that. Even if you think of life as do or die, well, there's the option that you could eventually you'll be destroyed and you die, or it's all about survival and you do whatever you have to do. Now, I'm okay with you do whatever you have to do, but that's tempered by law. Ultimate freedom is tempered by law. There's no freedom if we live in a society that's lawless, like the wild, wild west with no laws. True freedom is tempered by law. As much as we hate some of the laws, that's what keeps us safe and allows us to enjoy the freedoms that we do have. Because there are limits on what we can do. And I don't believe in stealing. As hard as it is for a person like me, I'm okay with having to earn an honest buck. Even if we break it down to the science of, I go to Goodwill and I buy some used jewelry and I resell it on TikTok. That's an honest living. There's nothing immoral about that. That's what makes the world go round, reselling. Someone buys it for this price and there's a ladder. Down the chain, there's only so much money to pinch off of something. Like, if it starts out, the cost of something is whatever. Let's say $10, and then someone buys that and flips it for 20. Someone buys it for 20 and flips it for 40. Certain items are going to have a reasonable limit where somewhere down the chain, there's no bread to break off. You can't break any more bread off a certain item, and I guess that's when somebody just keeps the item, right? So bottom line, Glitter, it's mission impossible for a guy like me to make it. Miraculously, let's just say the grace of God and some power that I invest into my survival, my will. Is she here? My will to survive. My will to survive and the grace of God and maybe my mother's spirit watching me from heaven. I've made it so far, but I'm wearing thin and I'm breaking down. And you would think in a society of good people, people would have compassion, like this guy fucking struggles, but he shows up every day trying whatever is his absolute best on any given day, that's what he gives. And he never quits and he never gives up and he's always trying. Even if we find him annoying and even if he's not attractive and even if he eats like a slob, he's a good guy just trying to make it in the world like everyone else. But see, some of these people are bad. They are evil. See, they're sociopaths. They have no conscience. When a person has no conscience, don't expect compassion for your suffering from them. They'll be the first to wag the finger and say, oh, look at the crybaby crying again. Oh, look at him having the pity party. Oh, look at him, woe is me. These are sociopaths that can't read in between the lines and have compassion with all the information that's out there about me, because I've done a diligent job giving the information and telling my story and putting my voice to my story and being transparent and honest every time I come on here. There is still a large crowd that comes to my stream, which actually is amounts to more people than the good people. Sadly, that's tragic, but that's the case. We all know it is. Okay, and these people do not have compassion for me because they're sociopaths. They like to hurt people. So if they get pleasure out of hurting people, why would they feel bad for my suffering and my struggle? They're like, oh, this is a party. This is a free-for-all. Let's all swing on the piñata all day long as much as the idiot will let us swing on him. And I've seen it time and time again. Every chance you give them to hurt you, they will hurt you. There's no limit or boundaries to them. It's a free-for-all. So anyway, that would explain philosophically and psychologically how with all I'm going through, they think it's perfectly okay to target my financial apps like my Cash Apps and my Venmos and make it where I can't even receive money. Now, Glitter, here's the punchline. You're a good person. You've helped me in the past. I don't even know if my new Cash App that I had to make because the other one's now broken and doesn't work because of what they did to me. I don't know if it's working today. It's hit or miss. Seems sometimes it's working, sometimes it's not. Can you send a Cash App to my new money sign stack cash 1111? Can you send a Zelly? Because I need donations at this point because I'm trying to earn an honest buck and I no longer even have the venue to receive money. I don't have working Cash Apps. I don't have working Venmos. It's now a situation where it's hit or miss. Is the Cash App going to work this time? Is the Venmo going to work this time? Or am I going to have a person that wants to buy this for $30, but I can't even receive the money from them because of the haters? So can you send me a Zelly, Glitter? Can you send me a Cash App? I don't know, LYD. Maybe they completely got it taken down already. Like I just said in my speech, there's no compassion. They're targeting me so bad, they're trying to make it where I can't even get money. Which, the first obstacle is getting people to want to give me money, whether they donate or buy. That's challenging enough. Being a disabled man that's very impoverished, very poor, not much money to work with is challenging enough. And now I've built a platform where I'm pretty successful making a supplemental income, but they've taken the rug out from under my feet and made it where I can't even receive money because they're freezing all of my financial apps. No, this is not the normal world. This is like a war. They're creating like a war. This is called targeting and harassment and abuse, and it's toxic, and it's evil, and it's bad. But go argue for their side, Yoders. You dumb fuck. glitter here? Did I lose glitter? Okay. Is there anything you can do to help? Donate, buy a piece of jewelry. I have tons of new jewelry I can sell you. Can you even test out my Cash App? Can you donate a Zelle? $1 on Cash App, see if it's working. $2, $5, $20. If you don't have a Cash App, can you send a Zelle? Do you want to buy something? I wish, but unfortunately I'm in the same situation as you, babe. Well, I love that you called me babe. Thanks. Okay, well, I hope you have a great day. Love you, Glitter. Anyone else hear my speech and wants to help me in some way, either buy something, a donation? I got on here extra early today because I've lost about a week's worth of money now. So the same thing that happened in March has now happened early in April. I haven't even fully paid my April bills, and I still only now have a half a month to raise all the money I need for the month of May. This is a lot of stress on a man that has a shaky nervous system due to a brain disorder, okay? This is an obstacle course. This is an obstacle course, and this is mission impossible, but I'm not quitting. I'm not giving up. I'm trying my best. I'm trying to be resilient and persevere. I'm not going to give up, Charlie, but fuck you, Charlie. Thank you, Robbie. That means a lot, Robbie. Here comes a fart. Incoming fart. There we go. You don't want to hold that shit in. You don't want to hold that shit in. I have no choice for it to sustain, Jackie. A group home is not an option for me. With all my mother devoted and dedicated to me, her time, her energy, her love, her care, for how I made it a full-time job to keep my stability, having conditions and disabilities that do anything but keep a person's stability. People like me end up dead or in homes and institutions for the disabled. People like me end up in homes and institutions for the disabled, but I made it a full-time job early in my life to manage my medical and manage myself and take good care of myself, to be the strongest version of myself I can be at all times. And I'm a pretty shaky, worn down, broken man at this point, but I'm still as broken as I am. Not quitting, not giving up. Now, if that's a meaningful contribution to society just in itself, to have an inspiring story, as far as my content, I'm here. That's a motivational speech in itself. I'm creating content, telling you, as tough as it is, I'm still not going to quit or give up or surrender. I'm going to fight the best fight I can, a good fight to survive. Knowing the history of my life has been for many years, there's very little pleasure and happiness and enjoyment at this point due to the progression of all my disabilities. My diabetes is worse than ever. My sleep apnea is worse than ever. My medicine for my mental health isn't even working as efficiently as it did 20 years ago because that's what happens. And I've been diligent about never missing a dose of my medicine. I take it religiously. I know from early on my therapists, psychiatrists, doctors, psychologists told me one of your most important medicines is your sleep. And yet I battle a sleep disorder, which makes managing my mental health difficult because I have a sleep disorder that makes it challenging to get my sleep. And I've been diligent about keeping a close eye and a close watch on my sleep. See, it's like having the plague. I have so many different problems wrong. It's almost like I'm a dead man living on artificial intelligence, like life support. My sleep machine, you could think of it as life support. My medicine for my mental health is like a version of life support. I'm really like a dead man walking, and you have to find peace with that. Instead of being angry and a hostile person, you have to find peace within yourself that it is what it is sometimes, and you do your best and live the best life you can and try to achieve as much happiness as you can and be a good wake up each day and do everything you have to do to survive and maintain and stay being a good person rather than doing things that's a bad person. So I'm pretty good at that dance with the devil, that balancing act, that obstacle course, that nightmare, that version of hell. I'm a great fighter. I fight a great fight. But the odds are fucking stacked against me. And that's not woe is me and a pity party. And don't say we all have our problems, because I have a lot more problems than the average person, okay? My life is very different. I'm not saying other people don't have it just as bad, but in the majority, there's nothing normal about my life. This is not how a person was intended to be or live. So, but I try to find as much peace with my life as possible. And not spend time feeling sorry for myself, but do what I have to. I keep my eyes on the good target. Like, what is practical? What instead of, I really feel so bad about how bad I have it. I try to do things that are practical, that make sense, to move forward, to not get stuck. Sitting and feeling so bad about yourself, you're stuck. What are you doing to fix your situation? I'm constantly trying to make my situation better. You see me still struggling because it's very difficult. You see me wearing thin and breaking down because as much as my circumstances would break me down ordinarily, I also have people that have a coalition and efforts to target me and break me down. I mean, it's literally evil at this point, what's happening in my life. It's evil. It's bad, it's evil. It's bad, it's evil. And still, I don't get stuck. I got on here extra early today to see what I can do to be more successful than I was yesterday as far as bringing some money in. Because to survive is very financial at this point, my survival. I know there's not going to be a shitload of quality to my life. I've already lost so much. Nothing at this apartment is ever going to match what I had years ago. I'm literally living to have success in my survival at this point. And then if there's a better day on the horizon, then, you can only pray for that and hope for the best. But this is me not giving up, not quitting. Don't spam my chat. I already immediately made a smart choice to move to a place that's $1,100 less rent each month. I'm not living in a garbage dump either. I can only pallet so much, okay? I'm not living in a garbage dump. My family had 6 homes, some of them mansions. We lost all our assets, all our homes, all our money. I don't even have a car now. I have no equity. I'm paying empty money that I pay it each month. I'll never get it back. It goes to some business that owns the apartment complex. Still trying my best to keep a smile on my face. But no, I'm not going to Section 8 yet. I mean, would I go to Section 8 before I would go to a group home? Yeah, but I'm not there yet. I'm not going to Section 8. So don't spam my chat with I can go somewhere cheaper. I already took a downgrade from Longwood to Oviedo. I was living in $2,700 a month. Now I'm living in a $1,600 a month. Okay? And I've taken on a whole new financial burden because my mom, who took care of most of the bills, now it's all on me. But yet I have the same income, the same measly $1,100 disability check. It's a system that traps you in poverty. Only mommy's not here to rescue me from it anymore and shelter me from the reality of what this really is. The reality of real life. This is where Yoder's comment, the real world, is actually a very brilliant comment. Now the real world and the systems that trap you in poverty is really hitting me. And there's no running from it. Because if you run from it, what? You just drown and sink and fall. Well, I gave you a compliment, even though we're in a fighting right now, Yoders. See, I don't know how to lie. I only speak the truth, bro. When you say something good, I'll give you acknowledgement and credit for it. When you say something ignorant, don't think it'll go past my watch. I see everything. I notice everything, bro. I'm always observing. Here's me looking at you, looking at me. You think you're the self-appointed judge and jury. Well, let me tell you, I know God very well. Don't ever forget that I told you that, brother. I know God very well. And I stand with God. If you're scared after all the brilliant, heroic things that I've said about a man that's suffering that still won't quit and give up, Rebecca, and you're going to sit here and contaminate and poison the chat with that gaslighting bullshit, I'm scared, and try to frame the agenda and narratives that I'm some bad guy that should be taken off the streets or kicked off TikTok, you can get the fuck out of my stream, Rebecca. Like now. And if you don't leave, I'll block you, Rebecca. You just said, I'm scared. I read your comment. You just read, I'm scared. That's what you said in your comment. You said, quote unquote, I'm scared. Thank you, Dillard. Dillard, can you test out my Cash App? Thank you so much. It means a lot, Dillard, because I'm on my A game today. I even made a post yesterday how I'm no longer on my A game, and I bounced right back one day later with a good night's sleep, and I am on my A game today. You might not like my annoying voice and think my bark is too loud and be curious how the neighbors haven't complained about my loud voice. But if you listen to the content of what I'm saying, it's brilliant. I am the mark of a good man in this world, and we're a dying breed. We're a dying breed. So many people have been corrupted from the brainwashing and fucked up shit that goes on. But I'm untainted. As sick as I am, I'm one of the few that's not contaminated and tainted. You can't brainwash me. Because as much as I know the truth, I had an amazing mother that reinforced the truth every day. Mommy knows best. Remember that saying that I'm saying. My mother always knew. She was the truth. She was always where the truth was. And thank God I loved her dearly and admired her. And I paid attention to everything she did and said. And even with my brain being so sick from my disabilities, I don't forget much that my mom said or did. I keep it all here and I keep it here. For Estelle, y'all. For Estelle. There you go, Jackie. Jackie's right on the same page with me instantly. We said that. That's called simpatico, Jackie. We literally did that at the same time, not even knowing we were going to do that, Jackie. Thank you, Scab. If you guys think this morning's been the speech of my life, I give a lot of, quote-unquote speeches of my life. But if you think this was the speech of my life today, the last 45 minutes, show up in the comments saying speech of your life, Tank. Let me see how many people resonated with my speech that I reached. Or is it falling on deaf ears? Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Brooks. Thank you, Stev. I love you, Stev. I really do, brother. Thanks, Dillard. Dillard, can you test out my new Cash App? Money sign stack cash 1111 and see if it's even working for a small 5 spot. Or let's not say it like that. A big 5 spot. It's all big, guys. It's all big. Well, that's bad news, Christopher, if you did, because I saw no notifications. Thanks, Emma. Thanks, Kim. Means a lot, guys. I'm digging deep here. I saw a video today. There's another brilliant woman out there. I'm not a woman, so I shouldn't say another woman, but there's a woman out there. She's brilliant. And she's very much on the same page as wavelength and page. The way I see the world and think about things, even the way I talk and the way she talks. And she made a comment on the video I saw today. If you go to on my main account, my liked videos, and see the video I liked, what is it that she said that was so potent and resounding that really resonated with me? Yeah, people that go through my stuff, everything that I've been through, most of them quit and give up. She was even using my same lingo, my same language. She said they give up, they quit, and they unalive themselves. She said that. But she said, you are a masterpiece that never quits, never gives up, and shows up every day. The resilience. Like, when she speaks, even though she's speaking to a large audience, it's like she's talking to me. Like she's a kindred spirit. So, when I see some of you in the chat that appreciate me, it's like we're kindred spirits. It's nice to be understood. That's the first part. And I'm a very complicated man. This is not a simple story, my story. So to be understood is so big. In what could be my epitaph on my tombstone, that I lived in a world that misunderstood me. That's one of my biggest problems. Because if you understand a person, then you can love them, like them, have compassion for them, feel for them, want to help them. It's the misunderstandings that is the problems of the world. It's like a violent tree that branches out and causes just a giant problematic war. The misunderstandings, which we could call what? The arguments, the fights. So the first part's to be understood. But the second part is those of you that appreciate me, value what I bring as a person, to the table as a person. You like me as a person. You see past what a lot of people judge the exterior. Oh, he just seems like a creep. His voice is annoying. He's awkward. I don't want to be associated with him. It's not a good look. How am I going to get a woman if he's my wingman? You know, those of you that don't judge a book by its cover and you look past the exterior and you read the book, the contents of the book, and who I am as a person, my character, what I stand for, how I think, what I believe. And there's a lot of you in here that I think appreciate me for all of that. You guys are the ones that I love in here. I'm not against everyone in the chat. I'm against the haters and the trolls. I'm not a bad person, and you are permanently blocked, Augustine. I don't know, Christopher. I got bigger fish to fry. Can anyone test out my new Cash App? $1 just to see if it's working? Money sign stack cash 1111, please. Just test it out with $1 donation so we can see what we're working with here today. That's it on the speeches. I have things I gotta sell. No, that's not it, Christopher. It's not stacked. It's stack. Money sign stack cash 1111. Already had it. Chicken pot pie. Thank you, Scott. Is that the real Life Goes On? Welcome, brother. Life Goes On, is my new Cash App working? To send $1 to test it? Jordan, can you send $1 to test it? Sherry, can you send $1 to test it? Please, Life. It's got me very anxious and worried because it's like I have no venue to even receive money. So then what? Then what do I do? It's like, do I even dump the energy to do all the work that I do on here? Like what? At a certain point, it's like energy vampires. It's just how much can we break him down and waste his energy and burn the clock? You sent it already? When did you send it? You sent it already? When did you send it? Life Goes On, another question for you. It worked. Thank you. Thank you, Brian. Another question for you. Is this a day where you can battle on Cash App and throw it around as if you're battling on there? Battle away, bro. Knock yourself out. Let's go. Life goes on, everyone. That means he throws it around on Cash App so much like he battling somebody. Boom. Shaboom boom, Life. Shaboom boom. You're out of here, Florida. See, comments like that will just get you permanently blocked. You'll never be back on here. And you're probably the person that found me on a dating app once and said, I want you to have nothing. You deserve nothing. I want you to have nothing. As much as you want, Life. Thank you. I saw you battling on there. I see you battling like you battling somebody. Throw it. Throw it, brother. It's working. Cash App in full effect. The new one. Money sign. Stack. Cash 1111. Let's go. Life goes on like he battling somebody on Cash App. He lighting it up, throwing it around. MVP life. VP life. The brother life. The friend life. The homie life goes on. What's your offer, Linda? Just curious. What's your offer? You were interested? I'm not bringing you up right now. What's your offer on the silver stamp? 925 stamped. You said you like jewelry. Seems like silver catches your attention. You had interest in the silver opal ring. It was sold. Your offers were too low. What kind of offer are you going to make this time on another lovely, lovely signature piece of silver? With, by the way, possible diamonds. I can't guarantee that it's diamonds. I can only guarantee that it's silver. But it is a beautiful, beautiful ring. Yes, Yoders, what's your offer on the Jewish Star necklace? What's your offer, Yoders? That's Estelle's jewelry. 25? You send a Cash App right now? Since you're only $5 under my flash sale price, Yoders, I'll accommodate you and honor that sale. Sold for 25. Sold. Not the mezuzah, the Jewish Star. Not the mezuzah. That's got a star on it, but it's a mezuzah. So you're calling it the Jewish Star necklace. There's only one of those left. I'm going to do it sold for 25. Money sign, stack, cash, 1111. Yoders, send it. I won't get mad this morning. I'm having a good day, Linda. They're few and far between. Please have compassion for me. My life is very tough, but I'm strong and healthy today. Not that anything will be fun. There won't be a lot of pleasure. There won't be a lot of happiness. There won't be a lot of quality. That's the nature of my suffering and my disabilities and my tormented, torturous life and existence. But I don't quit and give up, Linda. I fight a good fight for days like this, where I feel stable. Yoders, MVP Yoders. Let me just bring it out, Yoders, and just verify. Let's just verify. Okay. This is the mezuzah. We're not talking about the mezuzah. All right? That's the mezuzah with that. I believe you bought this. Correct? Show up in the comments with correct, and I'll put it aside. That's a steal, by the way. That's a steal. Correct? Just the word correct, Yoders. It's silver. Just the word correct. No, he said yeah. Okay. Sold for 25. From Estelle's estate sale jewelry, Estelle's silver collection. Any interest on this one, Yoders? It also has a Jewish Star of David. Can you see it? On the bottom. You see it? It's a mezuzah. Okay. Oh, it's nice to start off the day with some sales. Linda, come up. Linda. Linda. I think so, Brother Stevge. Brother Stevge, everyone. Throw it around on gifting hour, Stev. A gifting hour just for you right now. Like you battling someone, Stev. Like you battling like we used to on those $400 Row Brother weeks. On those $400 Row Brother weeks that gave me and Estelle some nice final years. We had some good times, me and my mom. I was not in a good place in my life, and you brought me back, Steph. You brought me back, bro. You made it where I could tolerate my life. My hard life, bro. You helped me. I'll never forget, Steph. I'll never forget you, Steph. I'll never forget you, bro. Thank you, BTB. You're out of here. My life shouldn't have to stop just because my mom's did, you idiot. You're out of here, too. Thank you, BTB. Thank you, Dillard. Dillard, little 5-spot, Dillard? A big 5-spot? The Cash App's working, Dillard. Now's the time before they target it again. Yes or no, Dillard? Yes or no, Dillard? Linda, are you here? I can't do this ring for 20, Linda. Hulkster. The brother Hulkster and the brother Stevge. Yep. They travel as a pair, these two. Yeah. Well, if money was better, what would be the highest offer so I could keep it in mind? I can do a flash sale, $50, Linda, on the ring. I will go down from 200 to 50. If money was better, could you do 50 later in the week? If I still have it? J Mouse. I can't, life. Nope, I'm doing jewelry today. I went broke yesterday. I went broke getting jewelry. I have to sell jewelry. The cards will be another day when there's not as much pressure on me. I still have one big bill left to pay April's bills, and it's already halfway through the month of April. I haven't earned a cent, not a dime for the month of May. Is a whole brand new month of $3,000 in bills, bro, and living expenses. I just can't burn the clock on the cards today. I did that the other day, and I regret it. Okay, Linda, I read your message. 5-minute break. I just want to make a public announcement to Yoders. Where's Yoders? You still here, bro? My mother didn't. My mother-in-law didn't speak to me as much at the end. She was so sick and in so much pain that they gave her so much pain medicine, and it really doped her up. And so we really didn't talk that much. She didn't talk to me that much at the very end. And it breaks my heart because that was the last moments I ever had with her. But it's okay. We had some really special moments too that I'll never forget. But I told you there was one morning, it didn't even make sense to me. And it was early in the morning, around like the time that it is now, like 6 something in the morning. And in the cutest, sweetest voice, and I don't know if she was half out of her mind, she really did say, "Does Yoders love me?" I don't know why that came out. But I want to say this to you, bro. I love you right now, Yoders, for helping me out when I need money. And my mom would love you too right now if she could witness and see that you're helping me. She would love you too right now to answer her own question in a way. Well, she asked, "Does Yoders love me?" But I'll say my mom, if she's watching, loves you right now. I just wanted to say that. I want to talk to Yoders. I want to talk to Yoders. You're out of here. Is Yoders here? How am I doing, Brian? Brian, my dear friend. J Mouse, do you buy jewelry at all? Brother? J Mouse? Thank you. That means a lot, Brian. I'm trying my best on a stronger day. Certainly not my best. I'm pretty faded and pretty jaded and pretty worn thin and pretty broken, Brian, but I'm doing my best on a stronger day than yesterday. J Mouse. Brother. Want to talk to you. Need to talk to you. Thank you, Visions. Well, let me tell you something. In over a week, I haven't gotten any coffee from the outside. No Starbucks, no Dunkin', no Dunkin', no Starbucks. Just coffee from my house here that I make. So, there's a lot of reasons that contribute to that manifesting and playing out. But I can tell you I've probably saved a lot of money, which is good. Good for the budget. Either Folgers or Maxwell. Pretty simple, Tony. I really don't like the other ones. I don't like the Dunkin' house coffee, the Starbucks house coffee. I don't like that chock full of nuts. Dillard. The brother, the vice president, the friend, the MVP, the homie. J Mouse, you still here? Show up in the comments. Is there anyone in the stream that's interested in buying jewelry? Like right now? No. Is there anyone in the stream that wants to buy some of the jewelry that I went out and bought yesterday? I went broke buying this jewelry. I worked very hard to try to select items that I thought would be attractive and appealing to you guys. I want to give you guys good prices. I want to do some flash sales once we start selling the stuff here today. I'd like to give a flash sale on each item. Incoming fart. Fart. Because I'm pacing myself today. That's why I'm not showing the jewelry. I'd rather ask who's genuinely interested. And then if a troll wants to try to trick me or fake me and waste my energy and be an energy vampire with not a real intention to buy, then they will be blocked. But I'm trying to call upon the good people to let me know if they're actually interested in buying, and then I'm happy to show the stuff. I bought 10 items of jewelry yesterday. It's my third time going out and getting jewelry. And so far I would say it's gone decent. The shipping really subtracts from my profits, and there's really not as much profit as you think in the first place. So even though a lot of money might go into my hands, I'm not really at the end of it all the different layers of transactions, when I have to go to the post office and they're charging me $100 a day each time I ship 8 to 10 packages. When it's all said and done, I'm not really walking away with that much money. What sucks though is it's money that is earned and made in my name. So it makes it like also challenging. Because you're only allowed to earn so much supplemental income when you have disability. So if $300 is coming in, but I'm really only walking away with $60, when all is said and done, then I earned $60, but my name just got hit with $300, which means I can now earn less in my name for my supplemental income. So it's a fucking obstacle course. It's an obstacle course. It really is. Hi, Breezy. I still can't show the Chucky. It's not gonna work unless you're gonna offer like $60 on the Chucky. It's just not gonna work. It's gonna cost like over $20 to ship. I see what's happening. Like everything is at least $8, and the bigger the items get, it adds up quick. And I just don't think it's worth $60. But that's what I would need to get to even bother. That's why you see, I have no incentive to show it. You want to buy baseball cards right now, life goes on? Right now? Okay, there's not a whole lot of great cards. Like it's just baseball. This is not football. It's not basketball. It's not Pokemon. I can tell, I'll start by telling you the years. You're looking at 1989 baseball and 1990 baseball. With that said, there's no rookies. It's mostly common cards. There were 2 boxes of long boxes of cards, 600 cards and 700 cards. I'm not going through the 600 and the 700 cards. I'm trying to give you some background information. I'm not trying to be rude to you. There was a box of 600 cards and 700 cards. The other morning, I don't know if you saw this, but I did a 2-hour stream and I literally went through the cards on my stream. Why do you say that, Steve? Right. It was so boring and it was annoying to me. It was very stressful, actually. So I'm not doing that again. What I can show you is the point I'm telling you is there were 600 cards, 700 cards. You're going to have to trust my expertise that I used to have a baseball card business. I paid for my college selling baseball cards. My classes, whatever what in school wasn't covered by my scholarship in college. I'm not being rude. I said I'm not being rude. I'm stressed. I'm stressed already. I'm not being rude. I'm trying to give you some information before I show you what I'm going to show you. I would never be rude to you intentionally. I know I might be coming off rude. That's why I made the point to say I'm not trying to be rude. Do you want to just hear what I have to say before I show you what I can show you? I'm trying to give you some background information so you understand why. So now you're upset with me that I was rude? Okay, I'm going to grab the cards, but I want to say this so you understand. They're mostly common cards. What I basically did was I went through a box of 600 commons and 700 commons. But this particular two boxes, I probably hadn't gone through in 15, 20 years. So I was like curious, like, I don't know, maybe there's something in here. Or maybe there's something that now I know might be kind of decent that I didn't think of as decent years ago. So, like, I went through them. At the end of the day, my gut instinct was right. I really don't feel like I found much, but I created a fairly decent stack of stuff that, I mean, maybe someone might want. Like maybe you will want. Now, okay, so two things were going on when I was going through the cards. Our friend BTB was there, and I pulled all the Dodger stuff. So he's getting all the Los Angeles Dodger cards. Not that they're very valuable, but he's a Dodgers fan. So those are going to be his. So anything Dodgers I find in the stack is not available. And then, like, okay, so I'll get the stack. And again, I don't want to spend, the reason why I'm coming off rude is because you're asking me to do, and I'm not trying to be rude. Even with saying this, I'm not trying to be rude. But the reason why you're getting that feeling from my energy is I really don't want to be doing this today. It was the start of a very bad day the other day, and I just don't even want to deal with it. I just want to do whatever energy I have and whatever focus I have and whatever patience I have, I want to give it to selling the jewelry. Because you know what that feels like, to go broke yesterday and have the anxiety of I have now no money to even eat. But I did that to get the 10 items of jewelry, and then everyone wants me to focus on everything but the jewelry. Like, even out of nowhere, everyone's saying, oh, you selling Estelle's book. No one asked about Estelle's book all week. But as soon as I wanted to sell jewelry, then it was Estelle's book. It's always some way to agitate me and rile me up of, like, what I'm not trying to do, that's what they're trying to get me to do. If I'm not in an exercise mood, it's always treadmill time. Like, I'm sick of it. But I like you, life goes on. So I'm going to go against what my own plan was. And I'm going to show you. And I really feel like at the end of all this, it's just going to burn my energy. Like, I don't think you're going to want any of it. So, Roger Clemens. 1989 tops. Mint. Yes or no? These were all right out of the packs. Years ago. Right out of the packs and put into the box and didn't touch the box for 20 years. Well, what's your offer, Midnight? Send a Venmo. We're going to buy these as we go along. Each card gets 30 seconds to a minute, and you can send a Cash App or a Venmo for whatever your offer is, and then we move on. Once we move on, we're not going back to the card. Well, do you want this in your stack? Life goes on, because Midnight just offered. I don't have sleeves, Pat. I haven't been working with trading cards in a long... You want this? Just say yes, Roger Clemens, if you want it. $1.50 you'll give me for this? I buy all. Life. Do you want me to put this in your stack, Life? Say yes. Roger Clemens in the stack. Because I got Midnight also interested. Life. Life goes on. Thank you, Visions. I don't know where he went. What did I miss here? This is a Life Goes On with 0 followers. I don't think this is the real Life Goes On. I don't think that's the real Life Goes On. I think that's the fake one. No, Midnight. How much, Midnight? How much, Midnight? No, Life Goes On. You're not the real Life Goes On. Midnight, how much? No, you have to pay today, Midnight. As we go through the cards, how much for this and send it? How much, Midnight? What's your offer on the card, Midnight? All right, I'm putting the cards away. You're not doing this to me today, guys. All right, Midnight, we're done with this. We're not going to do this today. You're not going to burn my energy. I'm putting the cards away. No. It's definitely a possible gem mint, a possible mint. $6, send it. Send the 6 right now to the Venmo. jasondlipp@yahoo.com. Then I will move on to the next card. We're going to do this one card at a time. No, Tired Eyes. Can we... No, I can't, Midnight. Not now. No, I want to see if you're going to actually pay me. Whatever you're paying me for the Roger Clemens, pay now. Venmo. For my time, I want to make sure I get paid right now. So whatever you're giving me for this card, I want it now. I understand you may want to bundle, but we're going to sell this right now, or I'm not moving forward. Yes or no? Can you? How much are you offering for the Roger Clemens? What's it worth to you? Send $1 Venmo right now. Okay. Thank you, MVP. We got Wade Boggs. Also, Boston. See, I had you in mind, didn't I? Record breaker. So this is like an insert. Back in the day, inserts were a lot different than than they are now. That was like an insert to the 89 Topps set. It says 88 record breaker, but it's an 89 Topps card. That was like what inserts were back then. In the 2000s, maybe even late 90s, they started with inserts that were sequentially numbered and stamped to the how many were made of the card. And inserts got real fancy and different. And then after that, then they started with the memorabilia cards, with the autographed jersey cards, and it just took off. And that became the industry. But years ago, it was just predominantly common cards, with a couple of key names, and rookie cards were the noteworthy cards of a particular set. And insert cards were stuff like this. So this is actually not part of the regular set. It's an insert of the 89 Topps. This as well is like an insert of the 89 Topps. Remember, turn back the time, but they're kind of cool because they do show all these vintage players. If you think about it, you would have a Tony Oliva card, even though it's not his like actual vintage cards. It's his card, which is now vintage because this is now 30 years old. This is over 30, almost 35 years old. This 89 Topps is all basically vintage itself now. So you'd have a vintage card of a vintage player that really had his cards in the 50s and 60s. So turn back the clock was another insert. Here's Expos. Here's Andres Galarraga. Midnight. You gotta stay with me, Midnight. See, now I'm doing the cards, and now I'm getting jerked back around to the jewelry. Like, you can't pull me in a million directions today, guys. I'm not going to allow you to stretch me and pull me in all these different directions. This is what is breaking me down. That I only have so much to give, and there's 100 people, and each person comes in here with a different agenda. I only have so much to give of myself. It's taking all I've got with whatever focus and energy I have to show Midnight the cards. Now all of a sudden Midnight disappeared, and now Linda wants jewelry. And this is how you agitate and break me down. I know exactly what you guys are doing. I'm not doing it. In fact, I'm just going to end the stream. I'm going to end the stream. I can already feel my blood pressure going up. I'm just done. No cards. I'm done. I'm done. Nope. When you guys can respect me, that's when I'll work with you. I'll work with you guys when you can respect me. Until then, it's going to be my way or the highway. My way or the highway. From now on. And that's because of self-preservation. I have to self-preserve. Because it was pretty dangerous for me the last couple days. How sick I felt. I hadn't been that sick in a long time. And I try so hard to never get that sick. And you guys can take credit for really breaking me down. I absolutely attribute it to you people that are actively trying to do this to me. You people that are actively trying to do this to me.